Shikues ekranit të Premium Channel, jemi mësuar që së bashku të takohemi në ofertën e ditës dhe ju e dini në fakt që kjo është kënd diku njiheni me resortet më në zëtë momentit, ashtu sikur se dini që shpesh herë kemi të ftuar special, jo vetëm në lidhje me Skype, por edhe në studio. Njëjtë është edhe rasti sotëm, kur kam kënaqësinë të kem një nga tur operatorët tanë në Ezhipt për të na folur për gjithçka ka ndodhur në fakt të sezon veror atje. Pse kemi zgjedhur kaq shumë të pushojmë në Ezhipt, cilat janë disa nga zonat më të bukura që ja vlen të vizitohen, cilat janë disa nga turet më interesante që jo vetëm familjarët, por njëkohësisht edhe çiftet kanë zgjedhur të bëjnë në këtë destinacion dhe kam kënaqësinë të kem të ftuar në studio një nga mikeshat tona, pikërisht zonjën Neveen. Hello, Mrs. Neveen.
Hi.
It's such a pleasure having you at Offer of the Day.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
We are more than curious to visit Egypt, but actually I know that you have been a few days here in Albania, and I would like to have an overall about this place. How do you find Albania actually?
Albania, I find it close, for example, in Tirana, I find it close to Cairo. But Cairo is more crowded because we are 100 million population. But I think people have the same culture, same habits, so I don't feel that it's weird for me or something strange. And you have very nice food.
Really?
Yes.
That's a compliment then.
Yes.
And as I mentioned before, we are more than curious to visit Egypt, and I know that a lot of people, a lot of Albanians, hundreds of Albanians, have decided to spend their holidays in Egypt, in both places, Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh. But I would like to have an overall from you, why people choose Egypt and why people should spend their holidays at this place.
A lot of reasons. First, it's the weather, okay? For sure, Albanians, they only come in the summer, but even if you try to come in the winter, it's fantastic weather because it's sunny all the year around. Maybe very few days in January or February it's cold, but for the rest, you can even swim during January and February.
Really?
Yes.
So we can
Yes.
say Happy New Year in the sea?
Yes, I'm always convincing us try to make operation. Actually, you do it in Christmas and New Year.
Yes,
which
we
is
have special offers.
Yes. This is number one, and the prices. Because still, even if the prices are increasing, especially after Corona, still it is an average destination where, especially for families, they can spend it and it costs nothing.
And why Egypt is separated actually in two parts, in Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh? For us, Sharm el-Sheikh is more well known as a place, but Hurghada also is a destination that we must visit. But why is this difference between these two places?
They are same. Both of them are leisure destinations, but some markets they know Sharm el-Sheikh more, like Albanians. The rest of the market they know Hurghada. They prefer Hurghada because the beaches are more sandy beaches. So it depends. As I told you, Albanians they like Sharm. English people they like Sharm by far. On the opposite, Germans you will never find Germans in Sharm el-Sheikh. They just oriented to Hurghada. Czech, Polish, Serbian, they all go to Hurghada. So it depends what you are targeting. If you target mainly beach, definitely they will go Hurghada.
It's more clean.
Yes, plus clean. No, Sharm is more clean somehow than Hurghada, but if you targeting a real beach, they will go to Hurghada because you can find a lot of sandy beaches in Hurghada.
But if I want to do scuba diving, then I should...
In both.
In both?
In both.
It's not only on Sharm el-Sheikh?
No, in both.
And if I want to know...
Snorkeling, scuba diving, you can find in both destinations.
Sports activity?
Yes.
And what about a family that wants to visit Egypt and actually wants to have some rest in their vacations?
The Hurghada has more family products than Sharm el-Sheikh, where you have family rooms, you have kids club. They are all inclusive, so for a family, if you have 2 kids, 3 kids, and you want not to spend that too much and still can have it with good price, they will go definitely Hurghada.
I am as a couple and I want to visit Sharm el-Sheikh and I want to spend my honeymoon in there. Which is the most preferable place?
In Sharm el-Sheikh, okay, I would say your #1 top-selling hotel in Sharm el-Sheikh for the Albanian markets is Rixos Seagate. But still, if you are just nice couple, get married and you want to party, we have the new Miraki. We used to have the Miraki in Hurghada, and by end of September, the Miraki Sharm will open, and it is luxurious, high level than Miraki in Hurghada. So they are targeting those who like to party, but in a high level. So you can have it. You can mix between having honeymoon and partying.
Which are the resorts that you will suggest more to the audience? Except Rixos and Meraki.
Except Rixos, rest of the Sarais, because when you make survey about the Albanian market, you will find that they target quality hotels. They are not just searching for budget hotels. I can suggest, beside Rixos, beside Meraki, the Sarais group. We have 3 5-star deluxe hotels: Sarais Arabian, Sarais Montemari, Sarais Diamond, and the 3 of them are 5-star deluxe. We have other 2 5-star but budget hotels, which is Sarais Rimal Beach and Sarais Rimal Resort. Albatros Laguna Beach, it's selling well with the Albanians. They have very good feedback quality-wise. Monte Carlo, also one of the good hotels, which you have to try.
And which is the real reason that you have understand from the people who come and visit Egypt, despite the price, which are so affordable? Which is the special reason why we visit Egypt? So these resorts that you mentioned to me.
The amazing nature where you can make diving, snorkeling, nice mountains where you can make safari, especially in Sharm el-Sheikh. You have amazing safari, you can do it. And still, it's accessible that you can go by flight to Cairo, spend 1 day in Cairo, or even go for just over day and just back. So still you can mix between culture and leisure. And sea is also perfect, so that you can spend the whole day on the sea.
And how far is the distance between Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh?
Because you cannot go by just by car, so the only way is just to go by flight. It is just 1 hour flight between Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh. Same if you go to Cairo from Sharm or Hurghada, just 1 hour. But
if I want to visit Cairo by car, so it's long distance.
It's long distance because it takes 7 hours, because security-wise, and you have a lot of checkpoints, so it ends up 7 hours to go, 7 hours to back, so you cannot make it just in 1 day.
Do we have a tour operator that make us the tour when we come at Hurghada or Sharm el-Sheikh?
Yes, we are SkyMax Holidays. We are the DMC. We have several markets, several tour operators from different markets. One of them is VAS, so we handle everything. We make the contracts with the hotels, and we give the rates to VAS so they can publish and make the packages. We make the meet and assist in the airport with the visa, and we sell the excursions. We make the info meetings for the clients. So we make all the service which a DMC can provide.
And which is the most common tour that you make for visitors? I think it's on the way to Cairo to pyramids, right?
Yes, in the way to pyramids, but it depends, because those who are staying in Sharm and Hurghada, they are not going Cairo. So for them, the city tour, the safari, the NEC trip, because it's amazing for them. And especially if you will go Cairo, then the tour from Hurghada or Sharm el-Sheikh to Cairo, and the tour in Cairo itself is amazing.
And what about the weather? I've heard that it's so hot. Is that true? Or
Yes.
is just a myth?
Tell me how was here in July and August, or especially in August?
Where it was more than 42 degrees.
Especially this summer, it was unexpected, not just in Egypt, everywhere. Yes, in 1 or 2 weeks of August, it can reach like 40, 42, but this is exception. But if you are staying on the beach, you will not feel it. But it's not humid, and this is most important.
Yes. And what about the food? I've heard that you guys have a wonderful culinary. Which is the most special plate that you would serve a new tourist?
No, for tourists, we are not serving the Egyptian food, because this
is part of the resorts.
But we have some special Egyptian food. How we call it? Kosher is one of our Oriental Egyptian food, which is a mix between rice, pasta. It's a strange one, but very famous in Egypt. Also beans, I don't know how you say it.
Yes, beans, yeah.
Yes. So we have some special really, but we have to test first if you can absorb it or not. It's a heavy one.
But I'm pretty sure that in the resorts, in the 5-star resorts, but not only, we have a lot of things to try. And
international cuisines, and some hotels, they make each day, they make different concept, different cuisine.
Yeah, different theme.
International, Italian, and not just, even in the hotels, you have the main restaurant where you have
yes.
most of the time all the clients, and you have a la carte restaurants. And this is trendy in most of the all-inclusive hotels, that they offer Italian, Japanese, seafood, Chinese,
so it's not
whatever.
the only thing to eat,
yes.
the traditional food.
Yes, so if you don't like, you want
option.
to go for Italian, you can find it, you can book it. It's okay. Most of the hotels, they include it in the all-inclusive. And some of them, they make it maybe with extra charge. But still, it's available.
What can we see in Hurghada by the tour in the city, and what can we see in Sharm el-Sheikh?
In Hurghada, if you go for a city tour, they will show you the old market, where it's originally how it was. In the past, it was like village for fishermen. So they showed them the old market, where you have all the bazaars, where they are selling.
We can make shopping.
Yes, yes. This is the main, and they can show them also the sea, because you can go with the bus and you can see the sea. This is the main. In Sharm, they have to show them, in the way they have to show them the mountains, because in Sharm they have so beautiful mountains, and it's perfect for safari. So definitely, if they are making city tour in Sharm, they will pass by and show the mountains.
I've heard also that in Sharm, the nightlife is more active than in Hurghada. Is that true?
In both, we have nightlife, but Sharm was well known somehow because there was a lot of good high-end places in Sharm el-Sheikh available. But still here in Hurghada, you have a lot, but it has to be highlighted. Because, for example, in Hurghada, you have a very nice, I will not call it city, but it's like a big complex called El Gouna.
El Gouna.
El Gouna. El Gouna is like a city inside Hurghada, where you have the top restaurants, top nightlife, everything. Mainly it is for the high-end local market, because the weather is nice, so they own home there, like summer home or whatever. But still, a lot of tourists can go, because there are like 11 hotels there, between boutique hotels, small hotels, and big hotels. So El Gouna, I think, if Albanian market can be highlighted, it will be a destination for the Albanians.
So I'm going to save you my bucket list, El Gouna,
yes,
when
yes.
I come and visit Hurghada.
Go to, just write it and see, have a look. Tour in El Gouna. It has a very nice marina, actually 2 marinas, and it has beautiful hotels, a lot of villas and apartments for those for real estate. It's nice. Food is perfect. Everything is nice.
And I'd like to know also, from your point of view, this summer season, it was good for so many people, because we were like relieved by the pandemic and everything else, even why the war with Russia and Ukraine still makes us a little bit panicked or kind of afraid.
Yes.
But as I know, for Egypt has been a great season. And I know that people that have come to the Egypt and spend their holidays in there have chosen the luxury resorts more than the others. Why this happened?
Why this happened, that there was high demand, because after the pandemic, everybody wants to travel, and they want to travel without restrictions. Last summer, we have the flights back, but you have to make vaccine, or you have to make PCR, so it was still restricted, and in some areas, even, or destinations, you have to wear mask while you are traveling.
Yes.
So it was not a pleasant vacation. This summer, all the restrictions are cancelled, so people are hungry to travel. With people, they don't like to feel controlled. That's why they didn't like it last summer with all the restrictions. I traveled last summer to Turkey, and it was totally not nice for me, because I have to wear the mask all the time.
Even why we are in the summer surroundings, we are spending our holidays.
So that's why Egypt and other destinations, they have a very high season this summer. On top, which is very surprising for us, especially after Corona, the demand of the clients. We were known somehow, I have to be frank, that Egypt is a cheap destination. You can go for a package in all-inclusive hotel for 400 euro. And some clients, they just want to go for the sea, so they don't care about the hotel. After Corona, with the too much regulations about quality, health, and safety, the clients, they are ready to pay, but to get quality and value for money. So the demand after Corona directed to a good 5 stars one. I'm not saying international 5 stars deluxe, but at least 5 stars with very good reviews on Booking.com or in TripAdvisor or whatever. That's why you see high demand on one like Rix's hotels, either in Sharm el-Sheikh or in Hurghada, 4 Sunrise hotels. And that's why the hotels started to increase, but on the other side, increase the service, not just to increase the price without any renovation or whatever. So they are investing in the service, not just in the hardware, because they know the clients are ready to pay.
Which have been the most common feedback that you received from the visitors that came this year at Egypt?
That the cities are improving because the government, they are doing a lot of
renovation.
Yes, renovation in the infrastructure. You know that we passed with very hard period last 10 years after revolution and this, so the country, especially the touristic area, they need a lot of renovation, they need a lot of service to be provided. So this is one of the common that the destinations are
the little
improving.
touches that made the difference.
Yes, and that some hotels are really have good quality, improving the quality, the food, a lot of stuff compared with before the pandemic or especially before Corona.
Which was the resort that operated the most?
Which was what?
Which was the best resort this year? Can we say a name?
Okay, if you compare in general or for Albanian market?
Well, for Albanian market.
For Albanian market in Hurghada, it's Miraki Resort. Albanians or Vas, they have Miraki, they have operation. They don't have Miraki, they will not have the operation. It is perfect. I think the owner of us, Mr. Enver, he was in Hurghada in June. And he said, I want to see some hotels and this. And actually he said, can I see Miraki, everybody? And then when he stepped in, and after we had lunch, and he said, now I know why they like Miraki. Okay, maybe you can think it's just a nice 4-star hotel, but it is adults only, clubbing style, very dynamic, very full of energy. So for the young people, it's perfect. It's not just adults only, boring hotel. It is, it's okay. It is real nice, full of energy, nice hotel full of energy.
It's also appropriate for the families? Or
no, it is adults only.
It's adults. Okay, I understand.
Okay, and that's why I think, because the concept of Miraki was very successful, they said we will make it in Sharm, but high standard hotels. So 1 4 stars in Hurghada, 1 Miraki 5 stars in Sharm el-Sheikh.
And what do you accept for the winter season? Because I know that you just don't have a summer season. You are all the year working with resorts. What do we expect for the winter season?
Actually, we are a destination, we are working for the whole year. But for Albanian market, you are not working in the winter, maybe just one operation for the Christmas and New Year, while I'm always pushing them, why you are not operating for the whole year? Maybe there is no demand, it's risky to have a charter without high demand, but maybe they can have small seats on the flight just to promote for the whole winter, because November, December, you can go swimming. March and April, definitely you can go swimming. So maybe only Jan and Feb, where it's really somehow cold.
There is the possibility to make a push to the audience and to tell them why should they visit Egypt and make
actually, and the space is available more in the winter more than the summer, because the summer it is demanded from all the markets, on top the local market from Egypt, and it's again like
crowded,
Albanians.
I guess, yeah.
July and August, because school vacation, so it is so much demanded in July and August. While you have the chance, you go in the winter, you find the space, you find much cheaper prices than the summer. So they have have to educate the market somehow, because we have other from Balkan, they are operating in the winter from Slovenia, Serbia, Macedonia. What else? I think these are.
Yes. I guess that we are going to be in the list for this winter season.
Yes, give it a try for the winter and see the feedback from the clients.
Well, we are more than curious to come in there and
make
all great days from your place. Is there anything that you want to add?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Neveen.
Thank you.
Mirë, ishim kështu në një intervjist me zonjën Neveen dhe besoj që keni marrë shumë çka sa i takon një vendi sikurse është Egjipti, që në fakt ka kaq shumë për të ofruar, dhe unë jam më shumë se e lumtur që Ky vend vjen shpesh herë në ofertën e ditës, në vëmendjen e ofertës së ditës nëpërmjet resorteve të ndryshme të cilat bëjnë pjesë kështu në familjen e madhe të Vast Group, duke qenë partner ekskluziv dhe jo vetëm, por që sigurisht sillin dhe çmimet më të mira për të gjithë ju në mënyrë që pushimet të mbeten thjesht të paharrueshme. Kështu kemi mbërryer në fund të kësaj puntate speciale, le ta quajmë, të ofertës së ditës. Bashkë do të shihemi në një tjetër episod me të tjera oferta dhe me të tjerë miq të ftuar. Deri atëherë, mirupafshim.